There's 1,150 leaves up in here. There's 900 of this color and 250 of this color. And in order to integrate it into the site, I focused on the size of the tree. So this is the largest tree I've ever done. I've installed this 3 times. Once in my bedroom, once at Trinity University, and it's gotten bigger each time. So the tree's kind of grown as I've worked with it. And then the Astroturf. I think Astroturf is a beautiful material. I think it completes the metaphor because it's the grass. And it integrates with the space because it's cut into that hallway. And we all know we have a ritual with art, especially when we come to a place like this that is, you know, the Austin Museum of Art. We don't want to touch anything. We don't want to mess anything up. We don't necessarily want to interact with things. So to get people to walk on this is a challenge. The way I approached that challenge was integrating it with the hallway. And I've seen people, you know, jump over. And I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. But it's important to me when you're dealing with floors to cut stuff into pathways where people will have to walk. When you create this many of something, it's not important to me that they are all individual as much as they are hand manufactured to be as close and as similar as possible. What makes them individual is actually the numbering, the serial number, if you want to think about it that way, or the addition, if you want to think about it in printmaking terms. A lot of people ask me, well, why do you use office supplies? You know, it's not really an art material. It's a non-precious material. So art historically, it kind of goes back to ready-mades by Duchamp, or maybe if you like Warhol, you might think of it in that vein, where you take something that is in a commercial space and you move it into the art space. For me, it's important to take a non-precious material because then I feel like people are more willing to interact with it. They're more willing to take one with them when they go. They're more willing to look at this and say, oh, I could make that at my house. Or, I know what that is. I know what that material is used for. And once you know what a material is used for, what its purpose is, what its function is, then you know its meaning, and then it kind of messes with your head. You can think about more, what does it mean in this work as a material? Because I think when artists use materials consciously, they're giving meaning to their work. More so than if they were to use a heavy-handed concept or something like that. Materials really connect art to the real world. In this piece, when you take one of these, I feel like you're celebrating just change in the abstract. You're celebrating, and a tree is a metaphor of that change. A tree exists when it has leaves, and it exists when it doesn't have leaves. It's life with and without. So when you take one of these, you are celebrating this. And that's a really important thing for me. I think art has to be celebratory. One philosophy that I bring to art is that I feel art's power and its function, if you can give it a function, is that when you see something and then you go away and then you come back and see it again, you notice what has changed within yourself. And you notice what has changed about your friends. Maybe you go see it with someone and you realize how being with someone can change how you interact with things. That's a very powerful thing because we grow as people. We grow to appreciate new things. So when you make ephemeral work, I think you kind of celebrate, that notion that this experience is not the experience you would have in 5 years. This experience is not the experience you might have in 2 years. And this experience is not the experience you would have if you were with your best friend or with your mom.